We're live. We did it. We got it going. I got my headphones on. And yes, I got the microphone on. It's always good to talk to yourself. People can see you, but they can't hear you. Fantastic. So, we were talking about the new week coming up. And the next game that we're going to analyze is the 49ers and the Rams. And the Rams blew everybody away with how effective they were last week. Unbelievable. So I don't know. I'm going to go with the 49ers, but I would love to see the Rams win again. I love an underdog. Um, the 49ers just have way too many weapons. And Brock Purdy is going to do phenomenal this year. Like unbelievable. I really believe that this is his year to shine and he's going to do phenomenal. I have no doubt about that. So the next one that we are willing to look at here, I would say is the Giants. Now the Giants and the Cardinals. The Giants really need to find their stride again. It's that time. It's go time for them. Absolutely. And it was embarrassing how the Dallas Cowboys absolutely annihilated them. It was bad. So I'm not too sure what the outcome is going to be. I'm not too sure um, what this season is going to be like for the Giants, but the Cardinals, show flickers of hope at time, but are not necessarily the best team. And I think the Giants, this is a great opportunity for them to, retool, reboot their strategies. The Jets are against the Cowboys. The Cowboys for sure are favorites in this. Absolutely. The Cowboys annihilated the Giants this week. And the Jets somehow, without Aaron Rodgers, found a way to beat a very stellar opponent with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. I would love an upset. I would absolutely adore an upset with the Jets. I would love to see them somehow beat the Cowboys, but that defies logic. And even if they had had Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that would have happened. I just don't see it happening at all. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys by 7 points. The Jets, though, are feisty. They have great special teams. Their defenses are wonderful. They are fighters. They're gritty. I really think this is going to be a season where they could do absolutely friggin' phenomenal. So we'll see. And that's on CBS. And it's a 425 game. I love the Commanders. I love the storyline. I love that everything seems to be going well for them. They are truly gifted and they are truly blessed to have the ownership that they have now. I really think they're going to turn that team around. And now it may not happen right away, but I think it's going to happen in the next 2-3 years. I think it's going to be phenomenal. The Broncos are a solid team. Should beat them, should have no problems beating them. I see that being very easy, a very easy win for them. But the Commanders, for some reason, I think are gonna win, and not by much, but by a little bit, by a small margin. What is a margin? I don't know. The Dolphins and the Patriots. Well, the Dolphins are on fire, and the Patriots are no slouches either. I'm going to say the Dolphins will win that. Tua, if he comes out and has another record high completion equation of expertise, history breaking outing. I'm so happy for him, Tua. I think he's been so disrespected. So many people don't seem to understand how incredibly gifted he is. And when he plays, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL today. The problem is he's a little fragile, and we all know that. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I would say 7 points with them. He also has the most dangerous player in the NFL, Mr. Hill. And he's arrogant. I'm trying to find a nice way of saying it. He is so assured that he can beat anybody. And I think that's part of being a great player or a great businessman or whatever you're seeking in this life. You have to have unshakable faith that you can do the job, and he can do the job. I have no doubt about that. The Saints, um, the Saints and Panthers. The Panthers are a fun team to watch. They're a developing team. The Saints, with Derek Carr, are going to do well. He's an incredibly underrated quarterback. So many people over, I would say, the last 5 years have been somewhat disrespectful of his abilities. He has landed upon, I think, a great situation here with the Saints. And I think he feels at home and he feels safe. And 90% of what the difference is with really effective quarterbacks is them feeling that they are supported and that their job is secure, and that the teammates, there is a good alignment of energy and thoughts. And it's the little things, it's the small details a lot of times that are the difference between winning and losing, being in the playoffs, not being in the playoffs, and the enjoyment level of each day. Like, the amount of stress that these athletes go through, and the determination and the worries that they have. And they're not financial worries. Most of these people are set for life. I get that. But, through social media, most people are unforgiving, relentless, troll like, waiting for you to fall, looking for that misstep. And I think Derek Carr is going to do very well. Again, he had a 305 day, and he had one touchdown and one interception, which is not too bad. The Browns and the Steelers. This will be a great game. This will be a bloodbath. This will be so insanely raw and physical. It will be wild. I would love to see the Steelers redeem themselves and beat the Browns. I would love that. But the Browns seems to have momentum right now. And the Browns are just fierce. And the great thing when you're underrated, people tend to not go full throttle. Now, the Steelers don't underestimate anybody. And the Steelers right now are raw and hungry because they were, somewhat embarrassed. That was a terrible season opener for them. And Kenny Pickett has an opportunity here to redeem himself. He had 2 interceptions in the last game, and I think, if we have Nick Chubb's Nick Chubb, if he can come up with a stellar game, that could be the difference between winning and losing. So, the Browns are more equipped than people think, and I think they're gonna be a pain in the butt for a lot of different franchises this year. So, I believe this is, my complete analysis of what's going on this week. The, um the Cowboys, I really believe are gonna have a stellar year. I believe that the 49ers are gonna have an insane year. The Dolphins are showing potential of having a wonderful year. The Buccaneers, I believe, might make the playoffs if they can keep, the pieces together or they can acquire a few pieces. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are in a rough spot right now. I think they're having a bit of a Super Bowl hangover, and I think in some ways they're not investing the dollars that they need to get the key players. We need a little more icing on this delicious cake, and of course, they will be in the playoffs. The Eagles are insanely packed with talent. Now we have to see if they have the chemistry and they have the longevity. And let's be real, 90% of what's going to go down this year is when the quarterbacks get injured. And I've already predicted that they will get injured this year. And I'm talking the top tier quarterbacks, the top 10 quarterbacks. I'm not talking 30, I'm talking top 10. A majority of them will be injured. And it's going to come down to the backups. It's going to come down to the defense. And how well are you equipped to fight and to stay in the game? And can you hold back some of these vicious and incredibly gifted teams that are stacked? But I'm a big believer that any team at any time, if the planet aligns or the stars align or just good mojo or good energy, good vibes, and things seem to fall because we've seen so many games where there's a fumble here, right? And it gets tipped here and it ends up in this person's hands, or the catch that shouldn't be caught is caught, or the fumble that is a missed opportunity, they recover that. So it's a team sport. We also have to remember too that it is a business, and all of these pieces are interchangeable. And to the owners, thank you for your service, but there's always another lineup, another draft, more people that we can recruit to keep this machine going. And guess what? I will continue to be the owner. I will continue to call the shots. And if you don't like it, then you can move on. And I think more and more collaboration is going on between the owners going, look, we don't need to pay this much. We need to work together. And it's called collusion and people will never admit it, but look at the status of what things are going on now with the backs, the running backs. They are definitely, putting their bodies, their minds, their spirits, their careers, their financial future at risk each time that they play, and they are part of more snaps than anybody. Would love to have you subscribe. Tell me what you think. If you agree with all the predictions I made, if you think I'm smoking weed, tell me. I would love it. Have a great day. Thank you for being here with us, and continue to be a positive force in the universe, and know on many levels that we are here together to enjoy this experiment or this matrix called life. God bless you all. There, done.